Welcome. In this session, we would focus specifically on the contemporary topics which are nowadays asked in your NET examination for psychology. So, let's talk about some of those questions which are part of your NET syllabus, but based on them, there are recent terms and terminologies that you must be aware about. So, the first one is the idea which describes the basis of replication crisis in psychology. Now, the replication crisis simply says that when there is a difficulty in reproducing the results of the published studies independently, that is what is a replication crisis. Now this is basically a challenge for a researcher who have previously published the psychological studies and are now facing difficulty in extracting that component and republishing it, right? So it is basically the work that you have already published should not be replicated. Now if that happens, there is issues on the reliability, validity, the established psychological theories and findings are all brought into account, and therefore the core of the replication crisis lies in lack of reproducibility. If you are not able to reproduce the content, then it's a big issue. Then we have another very important theory which has been added in the 2019 revised syllabus, and that is the ACT theory, acceptance and commitment therapy. Now under this therapy, there is a term which is used which is known as psychological flexibility. Now this is where it is a capability to contact the present moment 100%, and then based on what the situation is, the behavior is chosen, right? So this is what is called as the psychological flexibility under the ACT theory. So you first accept and then you commit for the same. Now under this, what is very important is the idea is to remove any kind of negative thoughts that are generated, negative emotions that are generated, and keep yourself aligned with your core values, and making your core values stronger or strengthening those core values is important. And this would actually require more awareness of yourself, removal of any unhelpful thoughts, negative emotions, and finally a committed action towards what you really want to achieve. So this is the correct option for this question. The next is, when we talk about the theory of mind, it is associated to which area? Now the medial prefrontal cortex is the area which plays an important role in social cognition, where you understand the mental state of people surrounding you, their behavior, their desires, their intention, and this is what is called as social cognition, which is the basis of the theory of mind. Now since we say human behavior is so complex, it's really hard to understand those social cognitions and social dimensions. However, now with development, there are neuroimaging techniques which show higher activity of the medial prefrontal cortex, where people are more engaged into social cognitive tasks, and that requires them to infer the mental state of another individual, and therefore C is the correct option. The next is another important question and more contemporary, I would say. Now with so much AI in news, how applying AI is a challenge in mental health assessment. One of the major issues that AI face is the ethical concerns, which are basically related to data privacy, because if you are training an AI, you require data, and if you require data, that means you are disclosing the medical history, the medical information of so many individuals, right? So there are issues which pertain to data privacy, issues on the biasness of an algorithm based on whom it is or who is designing it, and finally there are dehumanization aspects, which is one of the major concerns with any AI in medical field, be it the medical sciences or the mental health sciences. And that's primarily the idea where we say that human beings can be more empathetic to a patient. However, that element of empathy lacks with a machine or a AI as of now, right? So any kind of sensitive mental health information could be a issue of data privacy, and if you are not providing that information to the AI, then the AI is not well trained, and if the AI is not well trained, they cannot possibly bring in better results, right? So when there is AI's role, there are significant challenges that have to be understood, and this would require that there are significant human connections, and more development on AI could be possibly one of the ways through which it could be removed. The next concept is intersectionality. Now, this is a very important concept that we are nowadays using in experiences which require psychological well-being. So, various categories, it could be race, gender, or any class, which interact, create a unique experience of that section, right? So this is what is called as intersectionality. Now, across the sections, now this term was given specifically by Crenshaw, and Crenshaw talked about how different aspects of, it could be social identity, it could be political identity, where you say race, gender, class, disability are some of those which combine to create a unique model. And this model which focuses on the various ideas of discrimination, privilege, are being nuanced under the psychological experiences, right? So that is where intersectionality becomes really important in psychology, and this is not only in psychology but again a very important question for students pertaining from sociology and social work. So those were some of the questions that we have discussed today. Of course, we'll be bringing many interesting questions for you. Stay tuned for more updates from our side. Have a great day.